What would you do if your childhood backyard had a private zoo? Your garage was worth more than entire skyscrapers. And some of the biggest football legends on earth came to your house just to see your sneaker collection.
And I'll see you in the next shot in my sneaker room.
What time?
Hey guys, I'm here with the one and only Karim Benzema. What's your top 5, Karim?
For most people, that sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood movie. But for one teenager, that was just another ordinary day. Meet Rashed Belhasa, better known to the world as Money Kicks.
What's up, it's Money Kicks here and we're back with another video. We're finally back on YouTube. Sorry guys, I've been busy with boxing and everything, but today is a special day.
A teenager who didn't just grow up around wealth. He grew up surrounded by a level of luxury that most billionaires only dream about. Behind the massive gates of his family's Dubai mansion lies a world filled with exotic animals, jaw-dropping supercars worth millions of dollars, private jets, and a lifestyle so unbelievable that celebrities from around the world line up just to experience it. But here's the question. How does someone become one of the richest and most famous teenagers on the planet? And what is life really like when money has never been a problem?
Money Kicks.
Logan! Say what's up!
Today, we're opening the gold-plated gates to reveal the unbelievable truth behind Money Kicks' extraordinary life, his family's multi-billion-dollar empire, and the insane luxury that turned him into one of the internet's most fascinating young millionaires. Trust me, what you're about to see only gets crazier from here. So buckle up, because this is going to blow your mind. If you enjoy incredible stories about the world's richest people and the most luxurious lifestyles on the planet, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another amazing video. But before we talk about the cars, the private jets, the celebrities, and the unbelievable lifestyle, we need to go back to where it all started. Because Money Kicks wasn't born into an ordinary family. He was born into one of the most successful business families in the United Arab Emirates. Rashed Belhasa grew up in Dubai, a city where luxury is already part of everyday life. But his family took that lifestyle to another level. His father, Saif Ahmed Belhasa, is a prominent Emirati businessman and founder of the Saif Belhasa Group, a diversified business group with interests across multiple industries in the UAE.
I started the first companies in 2001. It was hard, not easy. I'm saying I started from the zero.
So while most kids were growing up thinking about what they wanted to become one day, Rashed was growing up surrounded by business, wealth, and experiences most people could only dream about. And then, something happened that would completely change his life. Rashed discovered sneakers. Not just ordinary sneakers, rare sneakers, limited edition sneakers. Shoes that could cost thousands of dollars and become incredibly difficult for collectors to find. But Rashed didn't simply collect them. He turned his obsession into an identity. That identity became Money Kicks. His name started spreading across social media, and his sneaker collection quickly became one of the defining parts of his online image. But the sneakers were only the beginning, because eventually, the celebrities started coming. Football stars, musicians, boxers, YouTubers, influencers, some of the biggest names in entertainment. And they weren't simply visiting Dubai. They were crossing paths with Rashed and becoming part of the world surrounding Money Kicks. Imagine being a teenager and having famous celebrities around you because of your lifestyle and your collection. For most people, that would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. For Money Kicks, it became part of his world. But then, the story moved from sneakers to something even more extravagant.
Yo, what's up guys, it's Money Kicks here. We're back with another video. Today is a special day. Today we're gonna meet Hezbollah. We're gonna chill with him.
Cars. Because when you're surrounded by enormous wealth, the definition of a dream car can change completely. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, and other exotic machines that most people only see in movies, magazines, or social media. But for the Belhasa family, these weren't simply posters on a bedroom wall. They were part of the lifestyle. And Money Kicks understood exactly how powerful those images could be. He didn't just want to experience luxury. He wanted to turn luxury into content. And that became a huge part of the Money Kicks brand. But there was another part of his childhood that made his lifestyle even more unusual: the animals. Forget having a normal backyard with just a dog or a cat. Rashed's family became widely known for keeping exotic animals within their private facilities. Lions, tigers, and other exotic animals became part of the extraordinary world surrounding the Belhasa family. It almost looked like a private wildlife park hidden behind the gates of a luxury home. Think about that for a moment. You wake up in Dubai, walk outside, and instead of seeing an ordinary backyard, you're surrounded by exotic animals, expensive cars, and a level of luxury that most people will never experience. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Because Money Kicks didn't become famous simply because he came from a wealthy family. He understood something extremely important. Attention is valuable, and Rashed knew how to capture it. He began documenting his lifestyle online: the sneakers, the cars, the celebrities, the animals, the Dubai lifestyle. And slowly, the internet started paying attention. Millions of people became curious about the teenager whose everyday life looked completely different from theirs. The name Money Kicks started becoming recognizable far beyond Dubai. And Rashed was no longer simply the son of a successful businessman. He was becoming a celebrity in his own right, a social media personality, a sneaker collector, an entertainer, and eventually, a businessman. But perhaps the most fascinating part of his story was the access that came with his lifestyle. Imagine being at home and suddenly having a global celebrity walk through the door. For most teenagers, that's something they would probably remember for the rest of their lives.
It's Money Kicks and we're back with another video. Today I have something special. We hit 100,000 subscribers, so I want to thank you all for all the support. Without you all, I'll not be here.
For Money Kicks, it became part of the world he was growing up in. His connections with celebrities helped make his lifestyle even more fascinating to millions of viewers around the world. But why did people keep watching? Because Rashed had something extremely difficult to copy: a lifestyle, a personality, and an environment that already looked like a movie. His home wasn't simply a house. It was part of the experience. His sneaker collection wasn't simply a collection. It became a statement. And the cars weren't simply transportation. They became symbols of the world surrounding Money Kicks. But behind all that attention, something much bigger was happening. Rashed was learning how to turn attention into a personal brand. And that changed everything. Because once millions of people started watching, Money Kicks became much bigger than a teenager showing off sneakers. He was building a name, a recognizable identity, and eventually, a business around that name. This is where the story becomes especially interesting, because there is a huge difference between being born into wealth and knowing how to build something with the attention that wealth can create. Rashed was beginning to understand that difference. The sneakers brought attention. The celebrities created curiosity. The cars created spectacle. The exotic animals made his lifestyle unforgettable. And social media connected all of it to millions of people. But now comes the question: just how luxurious is the world behind those massive Dubai gates? Because we've talked about the sneakers, we've seen the exotic animals, we've seen the celebrity connections, but we haven't even reached the biggest part yet: the supercars, the homes, the private aviation, the businesses, the unbelievable experiences, and eventually, the question everyone wants answered: how much is Money Kicks actually worth? Because once you put all of these pieces together, you begin to understand that the Money Kicks story isn't simply about a wealthy kid living an extraordinary life. It's about what happens when extreme wealth, celebrity access, social media, and ambition collide. And this is where the real luxury begins. Because the next chapter takes us inside the cars, homes, private aviation, businesses, and lifestyle that made Money Kicks one of the most recognizable luxury personalities to come out of Dubai. And trust me, we haven't even reached the most unbelievable part yet.